Welcome back, everyone. We're getting there. I think this should be the last video to where we can get this thing running. So a little off camera. I had some time off yesterday. Grandparents were here watching the kids, so I changed the oil, changed the filter, put a couple coolant hoses on there that I didn't on the last video. You know, this one right here goes from the thermostat to the radiator, and then the radiator overflow chamber, expansion tank, whatever you want to call it. That I can't put on yet because I'm still waiting on parts for the chain to put the chain back on. I ordered another press on Master Link. So, for the sakes of getting it running, we're gonna just put the clutch cover, not the clutch cover, the slave cylinder cover back on, so I don't shoot that rod out when I run it. In the meantime, let's go ahead and start working on this fuel injection and coils and definitely harness work. I gotta do some harness work because it's a disaster in here. On a good note, I did charge up the battery, and we do have, it cranks nice and slow, but that's what I want to hear. You can hear each individual rotation where it's, the compression is building up. So when I bought the bike, it just revved like there was, it cranked over trying to start like there was no compression. So that's a good sign. All we need is good oil pressure, compression and fuel, and spark, and it should be running. So let's move on and start putting things together. Gotta find the coils over here somewhere. Today is Monday, so I have until Friday to get this thing out of the way because I got some product coming for my concrete business that I need to make room for, so that's why I'm rushing. Were numbered, but I can't see the labels, kind of gone here. Oh boy, where does that go to? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got to be 1. I really wanted to get a harness for this thing because it is pretty botched up. And I can't even see the numbers. If it runs good, then I'll purchase a harness for this thing because it's too far gone. Now, do you guys remember where this goes? Because I don't. Just let that thing there for now. That's good. Don't know what the hell that wire does. Connected. They think this is the kickstand switch that they. No, it can't be the kickstand switch. It's got to be for the intake plenum. Probably goes to the stator. That's not it. Where are the wires? I'm missing some wires here. I'm looking for the RPM or the speedometer plug. Oh, there it is. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Everything looks good on this side. I'll have to figure out what, this might be the horn. Which I don't think this one has anymore. Yeah, this might be the horn. Let's see what else it would be. All right, let's get the throttle bodies. He included another pump, I guess, the previous owner. Rectifier in there. I don't see a rectifier. It's probably under there. Cables here. I just think this is the kick. No, not the kick mount. The fast idle. Yep, fast idle. That should be the fast idle. in. So in goes down at the bottom. Doesn't snap shut. That's binding pretty good. Loosen up those Phillips, the new head, they tighten the clamps on the boots. I did not notice that. Man, they cranked them down, they didn't tighten them. Wow. Lower boot is good. Alright, so adjust that one's tight now. Let me pull the upper clamps off of the old head. Oh, I forgot to mention, I did cut open the old oil filter and there was no metal in there, so they must have changed the oil beforehand just to sell it, to dump it. Because I had thought there was going to be something in there, because I did crank this engine up on the bench, as you guys know, or on the table, with that old oil filter in there, and there was no metal in there. Am I putting this the wrong way? Is it supposed to be the other way? No, definitely not. Ooh, it's tight. These boots get old, they get really stiff. can always heat them up with a heat gun if you're having too many problems with them. I think this goes the other way. No, I don't remember. I think it's supposed to go on this side. No, I can't be right. See what happens when you get old, guys? You forget shit. That's the fuel injection plug. And the tank. Well, this has to be the way. I'm gonna have to love tapping. Let me get a piece of wood. Looks good. Sometimes you just got to use a hammer. I'm getting anxious to hear this thing run because I've had this bike, maybe 3 months. I only started working on it about a month ago, so I've been staring at this thing in the garage for a while. I do not remember where these go. This is the oil pressure switch, the sensor wire. The sensor is under here, but the screw was missing that gets screwed onto the loop here. So I gotta source one of those. I may just steal it from the Super Hawk just to see if there's oil pressure, because that is the switch that will turn the light off or on the dash, the oil pressure light. Alright, I think I got everything except this. This I think is the kickstand switch or sump switch that they deleted. I don't even see that. I don't even know where that wiring is at. Oh, this must be it. They looped it. Alright, I feel like I'm missing something. Which I don't see. Looks they may have cut that part of the harness too. I mean, you definitely. I mean, you think you would want your rear brake working. Huh. Yeah, I've got two of these plugs here that. One of them's got to be for the fuel gauge sending unit. And one of these is, I think, the intake air temp and probably the map sensor. There's the intake air temp. I'm not going to put the air box on for now. I just want to hear it run, so I'm going to take the intake air temp sense off. And then just leave it dangle there. Because you need that connected, otherwise you'll piss the computer off and it won't run right. Where the hell is the map sensor? Manifold absolute pressure. Do not see it. Definitely isn't going to run right without that. This is the stator. One of these absent plugs goes in there. It should be this way. That's a, yep, there we go. I do not see the map sensor. I'm sorry, I keep saying, yeah, I did say map. MAP. M-A-P, manifold absolute pressure. So an airline goes to the map sensor. So how the hell did this thing even run? I don't know. There's just a bunch of sensors missing. This is crazy. Is this thing tuned? destroyed. There's nothing in here though. I don't know of any way like I said, tuning's not my forte, but I don't know of a way how you would be able to delete the map sensor without an aftermarket computer. Maybe there's more. Oh, look at that. Kind of off topic. The video where I did the clutch, I just found the clutch packs in a big bin he gave me. So this is the clutch pack that was missing, that was replaced, and then they replaced it with the thin one, so I don't have to buy a clutch anymore. I can put this in at a later date. Oh man, I wish I would have looked through this box. Here's clutch springs that I was missing one of them. And there's the map sensor with a broken vacuum nipple. Great. Just great. Huh. Well, that sucks. All right. I don't know if it's going to run very good with that, without that map sensor. Sorry, I'm off camera just digging through parts here. And seriously, look at the wiring disaster on this fuel tank. I mean, come on. This is crazy. I mean, you're literally crunched over a fuel tank, and they're using house wire nuts. You're literally sitting on a bomb. Man, some people are just absolutely have no business working on anything. Not motorcycles. They shouldn't be working on motorcycles, cars, anything. All right, let's connect this. And I don't have words right now, so I'm not sure what to expect. Gonna tilt it in there for now because it's definitely coming out. Bolts out of there first. And yes, that's a massive dent, if you were wondering. But that's not my concern right now. Let me connect the tip over sensor because it definitely won't run without that. This is absolutely crazy. I'm not sure which is which here. It looks like this is the fuel pump connector. And I don't even see a place where it goes. I don't see any big wires resembling fuel pump wires. That's crazy. Oh, there it is. That's what that one was. I just want to see what this thing does, and then I'll end up soldering all these connections, get rid of the household wire nuts. I'm going to leave the stator disconnected for now. And then it'll run off a charger. I found a map sensor. Don't remember what, I think this went on the TL1000, maybe? Don't remember. If the connector fits, we're golden. Of course not. Oh, it did. Perfect. Now I gotta find a vacuum line to the intake. This one should work. I don't know what to expect. This sensor's different. It might be calibrated different, so I guess it's better than nothing. And I don't like the fact that the stator wires are sitting like that, so let me tape them up really quick. Alright, I'm just going to put some connectors on them, just so they don't have any chance of touching metal and grounding out and tearing up that stator. Or worse, shorting out the computer. bring you guys in closer so you can see. All right. Should be able to see the disaster I'm working with here. Currently working on the stator wires. 3 here, 3 here, 3 butt connectors. And this, I don't know what happened there. We'll just do this for now, and then later on I'll actually cut that butt connector off and put proper, what would you call them, spade connectors. Pull on it after you do it, make sure it's nice and tight, doesn't pop out. And it doesn't matter on the stator which wires go where. They're all the same, and it gets converted from AC to DC. Turned out to be a nice day here in Chicago. A couple days ago we had an inch of snow, and now today it's 70, almost 70. This is a rare treat for end of February. All right, just a reminder, I'm just doing this temporarily just so we can run the bike without any chance of shorting something out. These will get soldered later and the proper connector put back on it. Or it'll be alleviated when I get a new harness, because this harness is just rough. Not a new harness. Let me rephrase that. A used harness. I don't buy new parts unless I absolutely have to. Tug on them, make sure they don't pop out, and we're good to go. All right, I'm going to put the charger on it. And that way we can hopefully get it running. I don't have coolant in it yet. I'm not going to put coolant in it. If it starts up, I'll add water to the system, just in case there's an issue where it's mixing the coolant system water with the engine oil. I always do that because, you know, coolant's expensive. Shit, everything's expensive nowadays. So you save where you can. If there's no leaks, then I drain the water. If there's nothing mixing, then I drain the water, and then I put actual coolant in it. There's no mufflers on this, so I may jump up because of the noise, especially this side. It's literally right here. So you're watching this live, guys. Well, not live, but as I'm doing it. I have not started this prior. So this is it. Oh. When it starts and stops like that, that's usually the tip over sensor. Maybe I need to just whack it and reset it. Doesn't like something. Let me put the how's that thing called? The slave cylinder and the sprocket cover on it. I'll save you guys the boring video. Alright, I put the cover and the slave cylinder back on, and we have nothing. So I'm going to bleed the master cylinder really quick, or bleed the system really quick. We'll see if we can get a an actual clutch pedal. We're low in reservoir. Let me get some brake fluid. So this is a definite sign that this bike never ran, and the previous owner told me he rode it and then the engine stopped. So right there, that tells me that's BS, because there was no clutch. Can't ride it without a clutch. So to bleed the clutch hydraulic system, brake system is the same. You pump it a few times, hold, make sure you don't drain your reservoir dry, otherwise you got to start all over. And the master cylinder is the hardest part to get the air out, so you may have to perform a bench bleed on it, or crack the line loose here and bleed the air out of it. So we don't want to do that. So definitely double check your reservoir every time. Alright, so there definitely was air in there. I'm just trying to pump it up. There is some resistance, but not much. Fluid's coming out nicely. I don't see any air bubbles, so that means we may have air on this side of the system. Alright, so we got to start from the top now. Let's crack this line loose just a little bit. Tools, where are the tools? Yeah. My guesstimating sizes is getting bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to pump it, hold, make sure your wrench is going the correct way. Get on this side so you guys can see. Like so. Doesn't take much, it's dribbling out right now. And now tighten it again. Never let go of the lever until it's tight, because otherwise you'll introduce air back in there. And I'll do that. Now it's tight. Oh yeah, much better. Oh, it's like squirting out of there. So now we got the air out of the master. Now let's bleed the slave one more time. For those of you that don't know, master cylinder, slave cylinder. Pretty similar on a brake system. You got the master cylinder here, and then your calipers would be your slave cylinder. It kind of does the same thing. So same thing here. Push. I'm pushing slow so it doesn't squirt that out again. And then crack it loose. Keep an eye on your fluid. We still got plenty in there. You gotta pump it up again. Hold, crack the slave loose, and that should be enough to get all the air out, and it's done. Now before you put the cap back on, check your fluid level, top it off if need be, and you are done. So now we actually have a clutch now. It's nice. Then you have put your cover back on. This is in a couple pieces here. You got your rubber piece here. This actually seals, stops the fluid from coming up. This is a plastic bracket. It kind of supports that flimsy rubber seal. And then your cap. And then the crappiest screws on earth, they always put these Phillips heads, and if they get a little corrosion, they always strip. And of course, there it is. Found my screwdriver. So there's a sensor issue going on because the bike is starting and then it's just dying out. So I'm going to look at that tip over sensor because that is the usual culprit. And they've bypassed so many systems on here, it's hard to tell. And I still don't know where those two wires go. These, I'll have to look back at the previous videos to figure out where the heck this goes, because I don't see any sensor over here. There's nothing here. I thought it went to a horn, but I guess not. The horn part of the harness must be on the other side. All right, so I'm kind of at a standstill. I have to stare at wiring diagrams and most likely order a harness, find a harness, something used, eBay, locally. There's hayabusa parts everywhere, so I definitely shouldn't have a problem finding one. But she runs. She starts, let me put it this way. She starts, she doesn't run yet. Something's going on. And now the battery. No, let me hold the clutch in. Yeah, it looks like it's dumping quite a amount of fuel here. Alrighty, that hurt. So So I gave it a little throttle, and she started up. So I'm going to adjust that throttle. Let me get you guys to the other side. Or I'm going to take the screw for the oil pressure sensor off the Honda Super Hawk Turbo project. Some of you guys have been asking about it. Yes, I'm going to get to it. I just got to get this bike out of the way in order to do it, because I need this parking spot for the concrete business that I have, and the truck sits in this spot. So priority is the hayabusa right now. So what I'll do is I'll just I'll steal this off the Super Hawk, and then go to the hardware store and match one to put back in on the hayabusa. I just don't want it dangling there, and I don't see an oil light. I see the oil light here, but it turns off. I don't know why it's turning off. It should not be turning off. It should stay on until it actually has oil pressure. God dang it, I got it for you. Okay, unfortunately, that thread is not the same. That's crazy. I thought it would be. Nope. All right, never mind. Suzuki and Honda don't have the same screw. Oil pressure sensor threads. Alright, I tightened up the cables, and then I adjusted the throttle idle. I have no coolant in there, so I'll put some water in there. Then, once I get my master link, we can take it for a spin, and hopefully it, I guess, works. Yeah, it runs, but we don't know if the transmission is good. I did do an inspection on it. The transmission dogs look pretty good, except for one set of teeth. There was a little damage on the edge of the dog, but nothing chipped off or broken off. And then I think that's about it. We'll see if she can get up to temperature and cool herself off. I keep saying her, I don't know why. And then come back up to temperature again and cool herself off. I always check any motorcycle I sell or work on. I always check the engine. I will not sell a motorcycle without test riding it and verifying it shifts. It holds that shift under load, because sometimes bikes can have a bad dog and pretty much good enough to where you can ride it under very low load, and then the second you put a heavy load on there, it'll pop out of gear. So every gear, I give it half throttle, 3/4 throttle to make sure it does not pop out of gear. And then I also check the temperature, make sure it doesn't overheat. And then I have it sit here at idle and make sure when it gets up to temperature, that fan kicks on and it cools itself off. The fan turns off, and then that cycle repeats. I verify that every time, because you don't want to take your bike out and have it overheat on you or pop out of gear. So that's no good. So let's put some water in there and see if we can get it running without mixing the water and the oil together, because that's a good test to tell you if the engine is running good. I don't hear any knocking. That was my concern, that maybe the metal flakes from the clutch got up into the pump and through the engine and damaged the main bearings or the rod bearings. But we'll see. Right now it hasn't been running long enough, but I don't hear anything. When that oil gets hotter and thinner, we may hear something. So that's another bad diagnosis of a bad engine. It would have to come back out and get a full rebuild, which I'm trying to avoid. So I'll be right back. Let me top off that radiator with some water, and we'll do another test. All right, we got water in there. I started it up. It's blowing a little smoke. I did put a lot of oil in there, so we'll see. open exhaust. If there's anything going on with the engine, you can see the oil down there. I think it's coming from the oil cooler line. Building pressure. We're about half stopped smoking. That's a good thing. Just waiting for that fan to click on. It had a temperature gauge, not an analog one. It's been a while since, it's been over 20 years since I had one of these. I like knowing what the actual temperature reading is. So I bet you if I purchase a different harness, the oil pressure light will start working again. That FI light, that definitely should be on because there's so many boxed wiring here. want. So we have engine's good. It has compression. Obviously, it's running. It has oil pressure. Obviously, I don't know for sure from the gauge, from the cluster, but the engine would have grenaded itself already. It's been running for over 10, 15 minutes. So it definitely has oil pressure. And it gets hot. It cools off. Goes back up to temperature again. And the fan clicks back on. And then the temperature drops. So perfect. That's what we're looking for. Now, the last stage is checking the transmission. That's going to be on the next video. Unfortunately, I don't have the parts to put the chain back on or the tool. I bought one of those little clamp tools as well to put on the rivet style master links, because you definitely don't want to use a clip style on a bike this big and powerful. So hopefully that'll come today or tomorrow, and then we can test ride it. Hopefully it comes in today, if not tomorrow, because it's supposed to be 70 today, 70 tomorrow, and then it drops back down to 40. So hopefully I can get you that video tomorrow, Tuesday, okay? Guys, gals too, appreciate you watching. I know my videos can get kind of long and boring, but like I said, they are unedited. I don't know how to edit videos, and nor will I try to learn how to edit videos. I just do this for fun, guys. No, I'm not here to make a fortune. Shit, I'm not making anything. So this is all coming out of my pocket. So please like and subscribe so I can get you guys more content. Till next time. Thanks, guys.